Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time.
And bringing them out is the rare southpaw in his fourth year, coming off his best season as a pro, Tua Tagovailoa.
And he more than did his part in the wild card win with 3 touchdown passes. Now, he's going to get a bigger test here in round 2. But his unit is in rhythm, and they're playing as well as they have all year long. I wouldn't be surprised if this defense, though, tried to get after him early with a little extra pressure. If he can handle that, he can have another big game, though.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
They're right here.
From the gun, it's Tua.
And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Micah Parsons.
It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at third down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
Able to power through. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return.
And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position.
They'll be led out by a man who nearly broke the single-season rushing record for quarterbacks last season. A true dual threat out of Ohio State. Just touchdown! Jahmyr Gibbs.
31 yards.
And the Aviators are on the board first here in this division round matchup.
I think that's the dream start right there. The defense stands up on the opening drive, then they go right down the field and score.
It's a positive start for your offense and your defense. And when you're talking about playoff football, what a great way to get things going.
Everything is magnified and amped up a little bit more.
To put it mildly.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And it's now a 7-0 game. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Ball has it knocked loose. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. A give to Barkley out of the gun, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
On 3rd and long, it's Tagovailoa. Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Aiden Hutchinson drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Here's Williams to return. 21 yards. Well done on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Tokyo set to go on offense once again. Well, partner, coaches always play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate.
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A gain of 39 that time.
We saw these guys have some big plays in their wild card win last week, and they're certainly going to need to continue to put up plays like we just saw there if they hope to continue to move on in these playoffs.
Now Fields.
And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown.
Trey McBride
from 6 yards away.
And the Aviators are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And you work so hard during the regular season to earn that bye to go to the divisional round fresh. Well, maybe they're too fresh because they've come out here pretty flat.
And how many times have we seen it? And let's go to other sports now. Let's go to basketball, baseball, those ones where the playoffs are a series. And you see teams who were playing before versus the team that had the bye, and they take them on. And how often does that team that had been playing before win game one?
Right.
Almost always, right? Feels that way anyway. When it's a one-shot deal like the NFL, that's critical because now you come in and you get the momentum. You can take them out in that one game, and it's over. And those other ones, that team at home usually gets a chance to recover, and they're usually the better team.
Well, they better halt that momentum on the other side quickly, or this might be their last game.
3rd and 19.
Now Tua. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. On the return is Williams. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Tokyo offense heads back out there now. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just now supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
40 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ball game.
And when you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown.
Ken Walker.
A 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Aviators continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then 1 play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that makes the score 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
And here now come the Falcons. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within the shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Well, 2 snaps ago, I don't think anyone thought a safety was on the table, yet it happened. They caught about back-to-back plays breaking through the line. No amount of evading was going to save him from a sack on either play. And on the last one, he ran too deep into the end zone to set up the safety.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Here's Austin.
Kenneth Walker headed back out there.
He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
Now a throw here to his running back.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It'll be a gain of 5. And it'll be 2nd down.
To throw is Fields.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Leonard Williams.
He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
So here's a 3rd and 14. Here's Fields. Looking deep here for Chase.
He's got it at the 15. Touchdown.
Jamar Chase.
62 yards.
And the Aviators are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point try now from Dicker.
And the lead is now an even 30. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Atlanta regains possession of the football.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Nick Bosa able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege.
To a hit, and the ball is out. But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down a defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football.
Touchdown! Kyle Pitts, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Aviators have got it on cruise control.
Did you see how the linebackers froze for just a second? That's why you run play action. You want to keep them rooted in the spot and create a little bit of extra space so your tight end can find some room behind them. And then the quarterback finds his target downfield, and he turns it into 6 points.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Nick Bosa, make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to pass. Tua. Under pressure, they got him again.
Aiden Hutchinson
able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in.
Well, look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the 3rd quarter.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. 2nd half action back underway.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this 3rd quarter.
And, you know, both of us gave these guys a real shot coming in here, but I don't think anyone saw this on the road with this lead in the playoffs. They've looked good a lot of times this year. This is probably as good as they've looked.
Well, it's been a textbook game for them.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for the touchdown.
Kenneth Walker
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Aviators come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Ball has it knocked loose.
So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he's secure.
Now the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down.
Quinnen Williams, his second sack of the night.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front seven. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you say, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Well, let's see who's faster.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over.
The Tokyo offense heads back out there now. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
So in this case, you'd think the defense would be collapsing to the left side of the field, and they forced him to his left. So he just tucked it away and picked up some yardage.
Fields.
And that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Go. On second down, it's Walker. 131 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Here's Walker.
And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. And they give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Back to throw. Fields. Touchdown! Jahmyr Gibbs.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Aviators will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, wow, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they've made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go, and that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
And it seems like they've been running uphill all game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Tagovailoa to throw on second down here. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
From his own end zone, Tagovailoa, 3rd and long. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does them in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Kenneth Walker headed back out there.
He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays, nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. Walker showing the power. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
167 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
And that's a great run, and this is where you've got a running back who feels like he needs to take over this football game. You're in the second half. You've got the lead. You're looking at moving on to the conference championship. And he's
touchdown.
Jamison Williams,
33 yards.
And the Aviators are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this fourth quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Falcons ready to take over. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
There he goes right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Micah Parsons make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
But not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one. And even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Tua sets up to pass it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Here's 3rd and 9.
Tua going to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards to play.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been